The Reds have started this season with 3 straight last-at-bat victories. It's the first time that has happened in Major League Baseball since the 1975 Reds, and that team finished things off pretty well. Tonight, the defending National League Central champions come to town for the first time, and the Reds look to continue their winning ways. Take a look at those blue skies, bright sunshine, a beautiful night in downtown Cincinnati. Welcome to Great American Ballpark. The first of 3 tonight. Division rivals, the St. Louis Cardinals at 1-1, taking on the 3-0 Cincinnati Reds. Hi again, everybody. Alongside Chris Welsh and Jim Day and our entire crew, Tom Brenneman, delighted to have you with us on this Friday night from sunny Cincinnati. Things have been mighty sunny for this ball club, and in particular, the very impressive start for Joey Votto.
And really one of the biggest question marks coming into spring training was how would Joey Votto be? Is he healthy? Can he contribute? Can he be the old Joey Votto that the Reds depend on? And so far the answer to that is absolutely yes. He set up a single the other night in the 8th inning. Of course, right after that came that Todd Frazier bomb, the home run that put it away. Wednesday, the walk-off base hit, and Votto gets the high fives from everybody in the dugout. And, of course, the home run off a curveball off of A.J. Burnett. Just enough to get it out of here beyond Andrew McCutchen. He has been right in the middle of everything here so far in these first 3 games.
One of the real sad, tragic stories during the offseason, we'll talk more about it later, the untimely death of the young Cardinal prospect Oscar Taveras. Shortly thereafter, the Cardinals feel like they need to make a move. They go out and do so by acquiring Jason Hayward from the Atlanta Braves.
25 years old, and he's in his free agent year, Jason Hayward is, and so far he has gotten off to a very good start here. They've only played 2 games, the Cardinals have. They got rained out 1 game in Chicago, but he's 4 for 9, a couple of doubles. He's batting in the number 2 hole. He's always been a good high on-base percentage guy, and they're expecting big things out of this left-handed hitter this year.
Should be fun. The Reds and the Cardinals will play 6 times over the next 10 days. Game number 1 tonight. Boy, you talk about long on experience. Jim Day has more on that. When we return, you're watching Reds baseball on Fox Sports Ohio.
With 3 rain delays, you're going to get 3 games with beautifully clear skies. It's going to be a nice one tonight. 60 degrees first pitch, 7th inning 55, final out 51. And if you're planning on going to a game this weekend, plenty of sunshine on both Saturday and Sunday. Low 60s on Saturday, low 70s on Sunday. Going to be a great homestand with the Cards. So enjoy the weather just like you enjoy this game winner right up the middle. Enjoy the game on Fox Sports Ohio.
Tim will enjoy because blue skies are indeed overhead and sunshine. Sounds so good. Jason Marquis will make his Reds debut tonight. And here's a guy that the Reds thought that he could return to his old ways because he's had an injury-plagued career. Most recently, Tommy John surgery, but he says his arm feels better than it's felt in 3 years. During spring training, he was really good. So good that he made the squad and made the rotation as a non-roster invitee. In fact, both of these guys on the mound tonight, well, they've been around the block a few times. John Lackey and Jason Marquis. Lackey comes up in 02 and Marquis way back in 2000. Look at the games that they've pitched in. Wins are similar and innings pitched. These guys know how to pitch, they know the league, and they know how to win. It should be a battle of vets between them. 72 years on Earth. It's the Cardinals. It's the Reds. It's a Central Division rivalry showdown. Game 1 of 3 next on Fox Sports Ohio.
Fox Sports Ohio brought to you by Cincinnati USA Regional Tourism Network. Stay close to CincinnatiUSA.com. By Chevy, check out our award-winning lineup. Only at your Tri-State Chevy dealer. And by Skyline Chili. Feeling good. It's Skyline time. Jason Marquis set to make his Cincinnati Reds debut here tonight. 36-year-old right-hander. Grew up in New York, still makes his home on Staten Island. Originally broke in Chris all the way back in the year 2000. We'll talk more about that in a moment. Mike Matheny in his 4th year as manager of the Cardinals. They have been to the playoffs every single season he's been the skipper.
Well, he's really guided them, Tom. Of course, he inherited a team that had a habit of winning. That was under Tony La Russa. When La Russa went out after the Cardinals won the World Series, Mike Matheny, who caught for La Russa while Tony was managing the Cardinals, came in as manager. Had no managerial experience, but it didn't stop him from taking his ball club right to the postseason each and every year he's been at the helm. A young man that is from Reynoldsburg, Ohio, right in the shadow of Ohio State University, but he went up to the University of Michigan, and that's where he did his college ball before he got drafted into the pros.
Let's take a look at the Cardinals starting lineup tonight, filled out by Matheny, brought to you by Lexus. Familiar names: Matt Carpenter at third, Jason Hayward, the newcomer, in right, Matt Holliday still in left, Matt Adams at first, Johnny Peralta in his 2nd year at short, Yadier Molina behind the plate, a latter third of Colton Wong, the second baseman, Randall Grichuk in center field for John Jay, and the veteran right-hander as well, right-hander John Lackey on the mound for St. Louis.
All right, so these are the spring training numbers for Jason Marquis, and you can see how impressive he was. Jim Day led you to believe that he had an outstanding spring, and that is no lie. 7 games, 7 starts, 31 innings, which is a lot for a spring training pitcher. But I think the Reds wanted to make sure they got a really good look at Jason Marquis. He came into camp in shape, throwing the ball well, and for him, throwing the ball well means keeping it down in the zone. He lives and dies by a 2-seam fastball. He throws a little split-action changeup that you're going to see a lot of those. And that changeup, by the way, is going to be very important for him against the left-handed hitters in the lineup. And there are a bunch of them in the Cardinal lineup tonight.
Marquis, of course, formerly with the Cardinals, among many, many others. Talk about a great deal. St. Louis traded away J.D. Drew and Eli Marrero. They acquired Marquis, left-hander Ray King, a reliever and a good one, and a young right-hander by the name of Adam Wainwright. Matt Carpenter digging in, and it's up and away, ball 1, and we are underway. Carpenter 2 of 8 to begin the year, and again the Cardinals had 1 game rained out in that scheduled 3-game series in Chicago. So they played only 2 games. 272 a year ago, 8 home runs, 59 runs batted in. He's among the best leadoff hitters in all of Major League Baseball.
And he is one of the most patient hitters that you will ever see.
A 4-pitch walk to Carpenter to begin the game. Let's take a look at the defense behind Marquis tonight, presented by Ford, and they have been so good through the first 3 games. Really in every facet have the Reds. Great plays by Bird and Hamilton. Frazier and Cozart. Brandon Phillips fell down and still caught a ball in the win here yesterday. So now the former Brave Hayward had 3 hits in his Cardinal debut. Had 1 hit in his 2nd game, 4 out of 9. With a pair of doubles, and there's a strike by Marquis. The Cardinals are by no means the base stealing threat they were known for many, many years. 57 of them last year. 2nd fewest in the National League. Only the Giants stole fewer bases. They only had 45 steals a year before when they won the World Series. Nor are they a home run hitting team.
Well, Tom, it really goes back to using your personnel. It's not like they don't want to steal bases, but they just don't have the personnel to do that. They're a team that hit a couple of years ago as high as maybe anybody in history with runners in scoring position. But what they do very well is get on base. They always seem to be able to provide the middle of the order with RBI opportunities.
That one in the dirt, and easily advancing to second base is Carpenter. So Marquis perhaps a little bit nervous here tonight, even though he's been around for a long time. Chris, the butterfly certainly there when you're back in the big leagues again after a lot of time away, and you're pitching for a new ball club.
Well, more than 600 days since the last time he pitched in the major leagues, and I think that he wants to show everybody that he belongs. And it could also be a combination of one of these days where you warm up in the bullpen and you don't have the good feel. You hope he doesn't have that kind of day. That's a changeup I referred to earlier. It comes in at 79 miles an hour. His fastball is going to be around 88, 87, maybe up to 90 miles an hour. But Marquis at this point, and he really ever since he went to St. Louis, is a type of pitcher that wants to give the hitter an opportunity to get himself out.
Runner at second, nobody out, and there's ball 3 after getting ahead 0-2 on Jason Hayward. Hayward only 11 home runs last year, had a career low .338 slugging percentage. Holiday waits on deck.
But he did have a career high on base percentage, and he cut his strikeouts down significantly.
Payoff pitch. Swing and a miss. Ball gets away from Mesoraco. They'll have to throw out Hayward. And advancing on the strikeout in the wild pitch to third is Carpenter, one away in the inning.
Well, this is the changeup again, and I mean the bottom just drops out of that. I'm not sure what happened there with Mesoraco on that ball. It was not in the dirt. The runner will go to third base on a ball that just looks like it went right off the pocket of his glove.
Looks like the Reds have decided they will bring their infield in here in the opening inning. Runner at third and one away from Matt Holliday. What a career he has had. Off to a good start. 3 out of 8 already with a couple of runs batted in.
You know, this bringing the infield in is taking a page right out of the playbook of Tony La Russa. La Russa would never want to give the opposition any run at any time. Even in the first inning, how many times did we ever see it that they would bring their infield in and just play the odds and try to nail somebody at the plate, keep that run off the board?
Blow it away again, and it's 2 balls and no strikes.
Of course, really what you're balancing out is you put your infield back, you've got a better chance of getting a ground ball hit by Holliday, but if it's a ground ball to anybody but the pitcher, it's going to score a run.
3-0. 14 pitches thrown so far by Marquis. 10 of them out of the strike zone. Three batters, and that is his second 4-pitch walk issued by the Reds right-hander. So at least you put yourself in a spot here where you get a ground ball off the bat of Peralta. Perhaps you can get the inning-ending double play. Or Matt Adams, I beg your pardon, coming up. Peralta would be next. Marquis gave the Cardinals some really good years. 2004, a 15-game winner, ERA barely over 3.5, won 13 the next year, 14 the next year. The ERA climbed, and he was dealt to Chicago. But pitched a number of playoff games, Division Series, LCS, and the World Series in 2004. Left-handed batting, Matt Adams. Ball 1.
Well, Tom, I think when Marquis went from Atlanta to St. Louis, his career was really turned around by their pitching coach, Dave Duncan. He bought completely into Dave Duncan's theory of sinker ball pitching, keeping the ball down, ditching his four-seamer for a two-seamer, and he's had a pretty good career.
Now, issuing a number of walks is really nothing new for Marquis. He has struck out in his major league career a little more than 1,100. He has walked over 750 batters. Ahead now of Adams at 1 ball and 2 strikes. You look at Adams and you think big slugger, big power hitter, and that he was when they brought him up to the big leagues. Homered every 17 at bats. That number slipped to every 35 at bats a season ago. But he is a very good hitter. 1-2 pitch. Just off the corner. Straight up in the air, left side of the infield. Should be the second out of the inning, and it is. Cozart squeezes it tightly. A big out there for Marquis, and 1 more to go with Peralta making his way to the plate.
Well, he got that again on the changeup. It's got a very, he'll get some really unusual looking swings on the pitch. There's a lot of deception out of Marquis, and he got a big out right there with Adams popping that one up in the infield. He's got to be telling himself right now, all right, 1 more to go. Don't try to rush it. Make a good pitch right here and let your defense do some action.
Johnny Peralta led the Cardinals in home runs a season ago with 20 of them. Runners on the corners, and he's down strike 1. Cardinals raised a lot of eyebrows when they signed Peralta. You may remember in 13 he was suspended for 50 games. He got off to a slow start last year, but finished strong. Fair ball on the third base line, and the Cardinals will take a lead here in the opening inning. Carpenter scores. Double by Peralta. On to third goes Holiday. 1-0 St. Louis.
You can see it was a breaking ball that he really missed his spot. Mesoraco set up down and away. The ball hung right over the center of the plate.
Second and third, the batter Yadier Molina. Some of you may be looking at that screen and thinking, is that really Yadier Molina? Chris, he has lost so much weight, you barely recognize him.
Intentionally. Not like he's been sick. He's had some knee problems, and they figured that if he take a little weight off, that it would save some of the wear and tear on those catcher's knees.
Frazier to the glove side, and the inning is over. A couple of walks come back to hurt Marquis. 2 walks, a hit. 1-0 St. Louis, and the Reds are coming to bat. Presented by Maya. Great start for Billy Hamilton and Joey Votto, as well as Todd Frazier. Looking for Mesoraco, Bruce, and Bird to get warmed up. Latter third of Brandon Phillips, Zach Cozart, Jason Marquis against right-hander John Lackey. Been around a long time.
Well, he, like Jason Marquis, is 36 years old. Big, tall right-hander, 6 feet 6 inches tall, 235, from Abilene, Texas. Pitched mostly with the Angels and the Red Sox before he made his stop here in St. Louis.
Lackey last year won a total of 14 games between the 2 teams, the Red Sox and the Cardinals. 1-1 on Hamilton. The double-figure win total marked the 12th consecutive year when he's been healthy, where he's won 10 or more games. 2012, he missed that season with Tommy John surgery. So he has been about as dependable and consistent as you could want in a starting pitcher for many years. 3-3 for the Redbirds after he came over in the trade last season. He is our IGS bringing the energy. Most consecutive wins of 10 or more victories, most consecutive seasons. He had 11, then that came to an end. And he has walked Billy Hamilton to return the favor when Marquis walked Carpenter in the top of the inning. Reds would love the same result for that leadoff man to come around to tie it up. Billy Hamilton, 6 out of 6 already in stolen base attempts. That's the most in the first 3 games of a season since a Cardinal. Vince Coleman back in '87 had the same number. Coleman, after 4 games that year, had 7. And it's interesting to know that Billy Hamilton has never been thrown out by the great Yadier Molina, the best defensive catcher of his generation.
That's a balk.
Yep, Billy called it right away.
Maybe he thought Billy Hamilton was going to get such a big jump that he'd head him off at second base. I don't think I've ever seen that before. Now, that's the inside move normally you see with a runner at second base.
You don't think Billy Hamilton causes any problems, do you?
I mean, Lackey's been around a long time. He's got to know that that's a balk, right?
That's why I asked the question. This guy's been around the block a time or two. Ball 1 to Joey Votto. 5 hits, 14 at bats, including a home run. Already 4 runs batted in. Interestingly enough, and granted only 3 games, Votto has not drawn a walk so far this year.
Hard to draw walks when you're being thrown strikes.
One ball, 1 strike on Votto. Hamilton the tying run. And that ball in the air and well hit. Into deep left field. Holiday will watch it go. Apparently, the neighborhood of that number 2 hole in the batting order is a good one to live in.
Well, the address at Great American Ballpark ain't so bad either. Votto hit a home run just beyond the center field mark the other day, just over the fence. This one going the other way, just over the fence for a 2-run homer. That didn't take long.
2-1 Reds in front as they answer right away. Frazier pops it up right side. Foul ground. 1 out.
Well, you talk about staying behind the ball right here. Votto hits it right out of the catcher's glove. That's the only way you're able to drive a ball that far opposite field.
Second time, Todd Frazier also with a pair of home runs. So Votto, the 2-run home run to tie the game here yesterday afternoon. And now a 2-run home run to give his team the lead in the bottom of the first inning tonight. I'll tell you what, his RBIs and his hits have been clutch. And that's what Votto is known for, maybe more than anything else. his first 4 years in the big leagues. Clutch hitting. A one hopper to Carpenter, throws out Mesoraco, 2 away in the inning. What we know about the domination the Cardinals have had over the Reds in recent years. It is a trend the Reds need to turn around if they want to contend in this division. The last 14 series against St. Louis, the Reds have 2 wins in those series, 12 losses. They have lost the last 12 3-game series to the Cardinals. And oh my, in St. Louis, 3-28 with 2 splits. Reds will go to St. Louis next weekend. Peralta, foul ground, makes a catch. But Votto making noise. A home run the other way. End of 1. Reds lead by 1. #1 app for live baseball. Get MLB.com at bat for your smartphone or tablet. Joey Votto, a 2-run home run in the bottom of the first inning. The Reds lead 2-1. Colton won in June. They sent him to the minor leagues. And then he hurt his shoulder, went on the DL. But man, oh man, when he came back, he was their best hitter in the postseason. 3 home runs, 3 doubles, and a triple. He can really run. Into right field, a base hit by Wong to start the inning. Randall Grichuk, young Texan, former #1 pick of the Anaheim Angels. And came over to the Cardinals along with Peter Borges in the David Freese deal. Another guy, Chris, who didn't play a lot during the regular season, but then started every game in the postseason.
Well, the coaches over there, those that have followed the Cardinals the last couple of years, they'll tell you this kid's got a lot of pop in his bat. And right now he's trying to push John Jay for playing time, but Jay is a pretty good player himself, left-handed hitter, getting a rest tonight, but they like Grichuk.
Grichuk became the 3rd Cardinal rookie ever to homer in his first game of a postseason series. Cardinals twice lit up Clayton Kershaw during the playoffs last year, and that's who Grichuk got in his first ever playoff game. 1-1. Hit a ton into deep left center field, and just like that, the Reds' lead is gone. Grichuk, a 2-run home run, 3-2 St. Louis.
That's the pop I'm talking about right there. When it's a fastball, you want it down, but when you're throwing 88, you throw it up around the letters, you expect to get a brand new baseball back.
I'm going to back up what Chris was talking about a moment ago, the pop in this young man's bat. You look over his last 3 minor league seasons. Grichuk hit 65 home runs, 80 doubles, along with 19 triples. That's a lot of extra base power from their young outfielder.
Well, he struck out a fair amount of time, too, and that's the one question mark he has right now. Will he be able to make enough contact to be an everyday player?
Fair ball, and Frazier will throw out Blackie, and that's a first down recorded by Marquis here in the second inning.
You know, normally what you see, Tom, when you start the season off, you've got ace versus ace as far as the top pitchers in the rotation, number 2 guy versus number 2. And normally on every ball club, especially those ball clubs that are supposed to be in contention, you're going to have a really good ace and you're going to have a pretty doggone good number 2. Sometimes your third drops off a little bit. In the case of the Reds, I don't think that's really much of a case, but you're going to see more high-scoring games as you get into, you know, pitchers number 4 and 5. That's just the way things are. This is where your offense needs to kind of take hold a little bit and support your pitcher with a few extra runs.
2-1 on Carpenter. He walked, went to second on a wild pitch, third on a wild pitch, and scored on a RBI double by Johnny Peralta 1 inning ago. And they'll get him out this time. Nice play to the glove side by Brandon. 2 out. Well, the Reds hoping one streak will continue, while almost unquestionably, I guess you never know, another will come to an end. They want the winning streak to continue, and all of us are thrilled the 3-game streak, interrupted by some kind of weather delay, will be over tonight. A beautiful day, beautiful evening, expecting more of the same tomorrow and Sunday. And we'll have day games here the next couple of days, so if you have nothing going on, why not come on down to the ballpark? 1:10 tomorrow, 1:10 on Sunday. One and 2 on Hayward.
Hayward really came on the scene strong when he first came up with the Atlanta Braves. He was an all-star his first year in the major leagues. That's when he was only 20 years old.
Yeah, Hayward is only 25 now and 5 full years in the major leagues. He is over a year younger than Matt Adams, and only 1 year older than Colton Wong. And those guys are just getting their feet wet. Struck him out swinging for the second time. But damage done. Grichuk a 2-run home run to give the Cardinals another 1-run lead. Grichuk already the home run in center, replacing tonight anyway John Jay. And everybody else pretty much the same, with the lone exception, of course, of Hayward in right, coming over from Atlanta as a Cardinal team from a year ago. Marlon Byrd shoots it the other way, and they had it played perfectly. 1 pitch and 1 out.
Byrd hit that ball very hard the other day. That ended up being the game-winning play. Dropped by Gregory Polanco to give the Reds that walk-off victory. And he's beginning to try to go to right field a little bit. He did that an awful lot in spring training.
And he made the comment after the game that once he starts hitting the ball the other way, that generally means good things are about to happen. We'll see how that plays out. Now Brandon Phillips. Brandon 2 out of 11 with the run batted in. Phillips now behind 1-2. You know, we rarely ever like to talk about what players make as far as money is concerned up here. Chris, you and I both pretty much feel the same way. It's not that you're trying to hide it from anybody, but at the end of the day, what difference does it make? But fans talk about it a lot. And I only bring it up because Lackey is a fascinating story. When he signed his contract with Boston, he was in line to make $15 million, which is what he made last year. He took a $14,750,000 pay cut this year. Straightaway center, 2 away in the inning. Some may say, oh, wait a minute now, didn't a guy last year, didn't you say he won 14 games? He did. There was a clause in his contract that said if he ever missed a significant amount of time because of an elbow injury, that he would make the major league minimum. When the Cardinals acquired that contract, they are now paying John Lackey a little more than the major league minimum. Fly ball center field, and the inning is over. We make our way to the third, where the Cardinals lead the Reds 3-2.
I'm Jim Day. Jason Marquis on the hill for Cincinnati, and his return, well, he didn't think it would happen, because let's take you back to July 19, 2013. He was pitching for the San Diego Padres against the Cardinals, and he had pitched 4 seasons with a torn ligament in his elbow. He knew it. He thought it was going to be his last start. He invited his entire family to come to the game because he thought this was the last time they could ever see him pitch in the major leagues. Well, a Tommy John surgery later, a few seasons later, he has latched on to the Reds, and he certainly has some connections with this organization right now. One, Walt Jocketty was his general manager when he played for the Cardinals. Jim Riggleman was his manager when he was with the Washington Nationals. And the man that did that Tommy John surgery, Reds medical director, Dr. Timothy Krimchek. So Jason Marquis getting another chance at it.
Jim, thank you very much.
Yeah, interesting. You know, you go back to the 2006 Cardinals and you say, all right, who's left over from those Cardinal days? And there are only 2 players on this roster, 2015, that were Cardinals back then. At least as far as players go, one would be Yadier Molina and Adam Wainwright. Skip Schumacher was on that 2016 or 2016. Scott Rowland was the third baseman. Things sure change.
So you know, the other way of looking at that, I mean, you stop and think about baseball years. 2006, a while ago now. I mean, to think that there are even 4 players still playing in the major leagues off of that team. Strike 3 called Adams. 2 up, 2 down for Marquis here in the third.
A lot of action on that fastball. You can see right there the old front door fastball where you started in off the plate. If you've got enough action coming off your fingertips at the very end of that 2-seamer, you can run it back over for a strike. And you can see the tail on all of his pitches. This is the only reason why he's able to survive at all at 88 miles an hour.
Well, 2 up, 2 down. He's been scored upon in each of the first 2 innings. And now ball and a strike by the man who knocked in the first Cardinal run, Johnny Peralta, with a double up the left field line. In the air left field, and Bird will track it down in the corner to end the inning. A scoreless inning, a perfect inning for Marquis. He will lead things off when the Reds bat in the third, down a run. Wins by National League Central Division champions, Mr. Welsh. Over the last 7 years, he averaged 94.
That's the bad news. The good news is the average wild card team is 88. So 94, if you want to nail down the division, is pretty much a number you've got to shoot for. Although there have been teams that have won as many more than that. But if you can get into the 88 range, you'll be in the hunt down the last month.
Marquis to lead it off. You know, the one thing we've always known about Jason Marquis, Chris, he is a fierce competitor.
Yes. Always been a good hitter, too.
You know, whether it be on the mound, whether it be at the plate, whether it be running the bases, this guy will give you everything he has every day he puts that uniform on.
You know, and early in his career, it was mistaken for hard-headedness.
Little bleeder and beyond the reach of Colton Wong. A base hit by Marquis to begin the Reds' third, down 3-2 in the game.
Jason Marquis with a base hit. What's new? Silver Slugger winner. Saw it off, no problem.
Billy Hamilton walked and scored on the Votto home run in the opening inning. For Jason Marquis, that is his 128th career hit. That is the most among all active pitchers in the major leagues. Short left field, easy for Holiday, 1 out.
You know, John Lackey, if you watch him pitch, he really doesn't have a lot of action in his fastball. Really a big difference between the type of two-seamer that Marquis throws and what Lackey throws. His fastball is anywhere from 90 to 92 down nowadays. He likes his slider, has a curveball. Rarely, if ever, does he throw a changeup.
Votto, the home run off the top of the left field wall, his first time up. Scraped the top of the wall. Cardinals scored in the first inning, a couple of walks and an RBI double by Peralta. Votto gave the Reds a lead with that 2-run home run. Grichuk answered with a 2-run home run in the Cardinals' second inning. Marquis at first, 1 away, and it's 2-0 on Joey Votto. In the air, deep left center field. Has he done it again? He's done it again. Oh, doctor, don't look now.
Yeah, you just got the feeling in this at bat, the way Joey Votto looked at him after the first couple of pitches, like, you know, you don't have the pitches to be able to get me out. If I put a good swing on it and you make a mistake, I'm hitting it really hard. And he did.
3 home runs now for Votto of his 7 base hits. He has 8 runs batted in. When Votto was right and healthy, perhaps next to Ryan Howard as a left-handed batter, Votto had the second best opposite field power for a left-handed first baseman in Major League Baseball. The last couple of years since injuring the knee, we have not seen a lot of power. Even less opposite field power. That one's going to go foul. Now that would be power. But to see Votto, to finish that thought, hit a couple of home runs. Now in other ballparks maybe they're not, but they have been hit very, very hard with serious authority. That brings back memories of the Votto 3 years ago.
Sure does.
Frazier just got underneath that one. 2 away. Boy, Todd looking up to the skies. Heading back to that dugout, smacks his hands together. He knows he just missed it. Little roller to the left side by Mesorato. He'll be thrown out by Peralta. But if this sounds like a broken record, perhaps it does. Votto with a man aboard. Plays long ball for the second time tonight. Called the Kroger meal deal for $9. A hot dog, a bag of chips, 16-ounce Coke, and during this homestand, Chobani Greek yogurt flip featuring the key lime crunch flavor. $9 at the ballpark, the Kroger meal deal. 4 runs, 3 hits for the Reds. A pair of 2-run home runs from that man, Joey Votto, to the opposite field. Cardinals have 3 runs and 3 hits, including a 2-run home run by Grichuk in the second inning. Marquis scored upon in each of the first 2. A 1-2-3 third. Begins Yadier Molina in the 4th with a pair of strikes. 1-2. Backhanded by Frazier. Perfect throw to Votto. That's all for Molina. A pair of groundouts for him to the Reds' third baseman. 1 gone in the 4th. I just can't get over how slim Molina is. It's going to be interesting to see if that has any effect on his play, especially swinging the bat.
Well, he's still looking for his first hit. So he may say so far it is. He's shown a little bit of a temper after each of the ground balls that he's hit down to third base. He's thrown his bat down. He doesn't like to make it out anyway, and he's not afraid to show it. But it might be wearing on him.
You know, if there is a concern about this Cardinal team, at least based on what they did last year, it has to be their offense. Now, they already have 3 runs in the game here tonight. That's fine. Last year, they were 23rd in baseball in runs scored. They only averaged 3.7 runs per game. It was unbelievable how many games they won with the offense they had last year. 2 away in the inning. And we talked about home runs. Only the Kansas City Royals had fewer home runs last year than Mike Matheny's Cardinals. I guess that illustrates you can't win, though, without the home run ball, because the Cardinals were in the LCS and the Royals were in the World Series.
Well, it's amazing that you can not only get that far in the postseason, you can get there as a wild card team. The Matheny's already seen that, but last year they won 90 games, so you got to wonder. They did it somewhere along the line by getting clutch hits.
47 of their 90 wins a year ago. They won by 2 runs or fewer. Tell you what, this second time through the batting order, it's been very impressive for Jason Marquis.
Well, he's finally feeling, I think, a little bit better release point on his pitches. I mean, that's a spot right there you can live all day long.
He is now retired 9 in a row. His second time through the batting order. Reds lead.
Coming up, and John Lackey takes them out for the 4th time. Young fellows in the crowd, a big crowd expected tonight. A bigger crowd expected on Saturday and Sunday. You know, it's hard to tell, Tom, when you look at the back of a baseball cap on a fan's stands, exactly where his allegiance lies.
Jay Bruce smashes the first pitch from Lackey into center field to begin the bottom of the 4th inning.
Especially true when you're playing the Cardinals. Lackey's given up some hard hit balls.
Well, really, you look at the trio that is coming to the plate now. Bird hit a rocket to the right side, and now with Adams having to hold Bruce on at first, that would have been a base hit. Phillips drove his to straightaway center field to the warning track before it was caught, and then Cozart hit the ball hard into deep left center. Ball 1 on Marlon Bird. 4 runs, 4 hits for the Reds. We're in the bottom of the 4th inning. 3 runs and 3 hits for St. Louis. Opening game of this 3-game weekend series. First meeting of the year between these two. And they'll be quite familiar with one another here in the next 10 days. Friday, Saturday, Sunday here. Next Friday, Saturday, Sunday in Missouri. Double play ball all the way here. 2 down in the inning. I'd like to remind you, Fox Sports Live has all the highlights around baseball, the NBA, the NHL, and of course the Masters. Check it out tonight at 11 o'clock only on Fox Sports 1. The Reds will not be facing either one of the top 2 guns in this. I beg your pardon. Tomorrow they'll see Waka. They will miss Adam Wainwright in this series. Wainwright pitched the first game of the year last Sunday and outdueled the big ticket acquisition during the offseason by the Cubs, John Lester. That night it was vintage Adam Wainwright. What an incredible career he is having. Still going strong. Cardinals a little bit different look in that rotation this year. They'll have Lackey the whole year. They traded away Shelby Miller to get Hayward. And they're going with the youngster Carlos Martinez. We'll see him on Sunday.
They did have Jaime Garcia down in camp. They had hoped that he would have fully recovered from his shoulder problems. He is not, but he's still down there throwing right now, trying to get ready. They hope to get him back sometime this year.
Peralta throws out Brandon, and that will end the inning. We move to the 5th. Reds lead St. Louis 4-3.
All the new additions to Great American Ballpark this season, and I might be in the coolest area. This was formerly the Riverfront Club. We're down the right field line. It's now called the Handlebar, And with me is my man, James Major, and he's better known as Chef James, one of the best chefs on the planet. Now, Chef James, tell us what you did with this, because this was an enclosed glass structure, and it is completely different now.
Absolutely. It's a total morphous. We took the glass away. We have seating out here, wonderful plush leather seats. Inside, we got really cool, hip food, interactive, with the chefs cooked fresh right in front of you, changing the menu every time a team comes into town, from hot dogs to haute cuisine. It's really, really fun, exciting up here.
Well, before it was enclosed with glass, you really couldn't get the feel of a baseball game. You kind of ordered off of a menu, but this is gourmet-style buffet, and it's all you can eat and drink, is it not?
All you can eat and drink, great food. We're going all the way till the 7th inning to get your food. We have great desserts as well. We turn at the 2nd inning. It's all fresh, as local as could be. It's been a great, great thing. And yeah, we're out here enjoying this wonderful game right now with no glass.
And anyone could get up here. They can upgrade a ticket to get up here, correct?
You can upgrade your ticket to come up here and have all the food you want and drink you want. These tickets, you have to come and you have to purchase these tickets to come to the game down here where we are.
Very nice. And let's talk a little bit about the fry box. Your invention?
Fry box, my baby. It's a team effort we put together with that, but to watch that thing grow and cultivate, you get fresh fries. We got 3 different toppings that you can put on them. With one of them is called the hot box, which is pulled or smoked chicken, hot sauce, blue cheese, and celery. The other one is the pepper box, the pepper pot box, beef, peppers, onions, sour cream, and some banana peppers. And the last one is Mr. Red Smokehouse, pulled pork, barbecue sauce, jalapenos, and nacho cheese. Come on down and get that. Don't want the wet stuff? You get just regular fries and put our own secret dust on it.
Well, Tom and Chris, I have already sampled the fry box, and let me tell you, it is off the charts. And the Reds are very, very familiar with the show Chopped on the Food Network. Chef James here is a former Chopped champion. That's how good this guy is. In this area, the handlebar, they have done it right. This is first class all the way.
Tell you what, we're going to have to get up there, Chris, before a game one night. Maybe they can sneak a few dishes out a little bit early before we go to work.
Tom, my biggest worry is now that Jim Day knows how to get up there to the handlebar and where the fry box is, we may never see him again.
And, you know, Jim, you've lost a lot of weight.
I've lost a few pounds.
No, you've lost a lot of weight. You're looking good.
Well, thank you. The fry box was it was one of my weaknesses today. There's no question about it. And by the way, you don't have to be in the handlebar to get the fry box. You can get those on the main concourse, so you do not have to have a ticket up here to get the fry box. They are on the main concourse, and they are going to be a big hit.
Tell you who else is a big hit right now is Jason Marquis. First 2 innings, he walked 2 batters, gave up 3 hits and 3 runs. He has not allowed a base runner since the home run.
Well, he's made some really good pitches right there. A little slider with some depth to it. That Carpenter knew it right away. He was on his way back to the dugout as soon as that ball went into the glove.
2 up, 2 down. 11 in a row retired by Marquis since a home run by Gritchen. He has struck out Hayward twice tonight. Try to come in a side gate, missed it. 1 ball and 1 strike to Jason Hayward. You see a pitch like that, and you almost wonder if Hayward's guessing. That was a fastball, 89, right down the middle of the plate.
Well, it ended up in the middle of the plate. But look at the movement. I mean, maybe it's hard to tell from our angle, but I'm telling you that there's a lot of lateral movement on his pitches. And I think that's what froze Hayward.
2-2. Breaking ball swung on and fouled away.
You know, Marquis feeling it now. I mean, he's kind of in a little bit of a groove. He's found a good release point. He's pitching quickly from pitch to pitch. I mean, he's ready to go, waiting for the hitter to get back in the box.
And with that same thought in mind, perhaps that's why Hayward waited till he almost began his windup. Timeout, right back in there. 3-2. Marquis hoping to leave Holiday right there, and in this inning right here and right now, which he'll do. 12 in a row retired by Jason Marquis after the bumpy start. Reds lead the Cardinals middle of the fifth, 4-3. Frazier bobblehead thanks to Coca-Cola. The first 25,000 fans bring home that bobblehead. 381 REDS. Visit Kroger or log on to Reds.com/tickets. Reds 4, Cardinals 3. Game 1 of this 3-game weekend series in Cincinnati. Cozart, Marquis, Hamilton, 2 up here in the bottom of the fifth. Second one in a row that Cozart hits hard, but right there is Grichuk. Marquis singled to lead off the third inning, and he was aboard when Votto played long ball for the second time in the game tonight. And he hits another rocket, but this one into the glove of Peralta. Billy Hamilton with 2 down and nobody on. He is our T-Mobile game changer. Ricky Henderson is Major League Baseball's all-time leader in stolen bases. It took Ricky 4 more games in Billy Hamilton to reach 75 steals. Billy thrown out 2 more times. Joe Morgan stops by regularly up here in the booth, and we visit with him, one of the great base stealers as well in the history of Major League Baseball. And he talked about last year how Hamilton was getting on base and running too early. Billy's trying to change that this year, and so far so good. A 1-2-3 inning for Lackey. End of 5. Reds lead the Cardinals 4-3. On Fox Sports Ohio, brought to you by Meyer. By your local Ford dealer. Ford, go further. And by Cincinnati Children's Hospital, ranking 3rd in the nation on the U.S. News and World Report's best children's hospitals in America. Good crowd, beautiful night for baseball in Cincinnati, the opening game of this 3-game series. And right through the heart of the order now for Marquis, who has retired 12 in a row since allowing 3 runs, 3 hits, and 2 walks over the first 2 innings.
I'll tell you, they're not even really getting that many good looks at his stuff. I mean, it gives you a little inspiration if you're not a pitcher that is sitting at home and throwing 95 miles an hour, that Jason Marquis can show you how you can get it done with less than great major league stuff. I mean, it's all about movement and location. He's got both of those working tonight. Little of this, little of that, add and subtract. Move the ball in and then move the ball away. He's had some bad swings.
Do or die play here, and really no chance for Phillips by the time he got there. So the string of 12 straight retired by Marquis comes to an end on a bouncing ball about 70 feet.
This game tonight, of course, a big matchup between these 2 Central Division rivals, but they're being picked up all over the place. Just got a text from some people down in Siesta Key, Florida. The old spring training headquarters of the Reds down there. The Niehouses, Greg and Maria, are standing by watching. Little Betty and Big Betty are watching tonight. They're having a good time.
Well, I'm sure it's a beautiful night down there in Sarasota. They have a lot of them. But I bet you they wish they were here tonight, because it is a beautiful night in Cincinnati.
You're right. Well, maybe when it gets warm enough down there, they'll head up here.
First time since the second inning Marquis has had to work out of the stretch. And he's 2-0 on Matt Adams.
But when he misses, though, he's not missing by much. First inning, he was all over the place. It's almost like the ball was moving so much you couldn't control it.
Two-0 on Adams, who has worn out Reds pitching in the short amount of time he's been in the big leagues. They'll have to hurry. They get one, and do they turn it? No. It was hit so softly. It gave Adams a chance to leg out the relay throw, and that's a call at first by Joe West.
And Matt Holliday seemed to do the best he could to try to get in the way of Cozart, too. Cozart got the ball and really pushed himself away from the bag at second base before he made that turn.
Peralta, an RBI double by a diving Frazier up the third base line in the first inning. And then he flied out down in the left field corner. A ball run down by Marlon Byrd in the third. Reds lead by a run. We're in the top of the sixth. Double play. Oh, he broke the wrong way. It looked like Phillips never saw it. Either that or he lost it when it came off the bat. Was the umpire in the way? I don't think so.
I don't think I've ever seen that before. He just evidently didn't see it. The umpire was not in the way. Brandon just broke to the right. Just must have, maybe by the way the swing was, he thought he was going to pull that ball a little more.
Well, the base hit allows Holliday to go all the way to third. So now Adams, I beg your pardon, and now the Cardinals have a tying run 90 feet away on a bouncing ball over the mound for a hit. And a ball the best defensive second baseman in the league never picked up. Molina, a pair of ground balls to Frazier. Marquis would love one more of those off the Cardinals catcher's bat right now.
Yadier off to a slow start, 0 for 8 with a couple of walks. You compare that to last year when he got out of the gate very hot, hit .344 in the month of April. Boy, throw it down there, change speeds, work the corners.
Oh, and 2.
Pretty much 2 perfect pitches.
Went out there one more time with a breaking ball, and that is all for Molina. 7 strikeouts in the game now by Jason Marquis.
You know, interesting, because one of the things that Jason Marquis was saying during his spring training at Goodyear, Arizona, is that the air is so dry out there that he wasn't really getting the kind of movement on his pitches that he thought he would when he found a spot with a little more humidity. it's moving all over tonight.
One more big out to go to protect this one-run lead. Wong the batter, with runners on the corners and 2 away. Ball 1. Wong a single to right, scored on the Grichuk home run in the 2nd inning. He flied out to Bird his last time up. In the air, coming a long way to get it, but getting there indeed is Bird, and what a job by Jason Marquis. Reds still lead by a run. Since being diagnosed with a brain tumor a little more than a year ago, Lauryn Hill from Mount St. Joe's passed away today at the age of 19. Our thoughts and prayers with so many who knew her and loved her, and God rest her soul. Tonight, Joey Votto, his first multi-homer game since May the 13th, 2012. Of course, that was the year he injured his knee sliding into third base midway through the season in San Francisco. It required a second surgery. Came back the next year, played every game. But then last year, the quad above that same left knee began to really bother him, and was never fully healthy the entire year, playing in only 62 games. Two-run home run to left in the first, 2-run home run to left in the third. Lucky going to get him out this time.
Lackey's got to be happy that he's still in the ball game here. The only time he pitched against the Reds previously in this ballpark was last year in September, on September the 10th. And he was pitching pretty well, but didn't last past the 2nd inning. Got into an argument with the home plate umpire, Tom Hallion, and eventually ejected for arguing balls and strikes.
You know, we went to commercial break, and sending our thoughts and condolences to the passing of Lauryn Hill, Indiana native. And well, I tell you what, her family through that, what must have been just a lot of very devastating days, knowing that there was really nothing the doctors could do. Her courage was extraordinary, all the money she raised, and living to try and end cancer and fighting cancer. For her family, we have thought about you frequently since we first learned her story.
Very brave girl.
I mean, this isn't some local story. This is a national story. I mean, whatever, you know, you're talking about Fox News, NBC, ESPN. Three and two to Frazier, 1 out, nobody on. Reds leading by a run. And there's ball 4. He didn't miss by much. Lackey, in fact, really wanted that call.
Well, in the second walk of the game for Lackey, he walked the first batter he faced, Billy Hamilton, who came around to score, of course, on the Votto home run of the first inning. He thought he had this one. No.
The Reds have action in their bullpen for the first time tonight. Marquis has thrown 104 pitches in the first 6 innings. And that is right-hander Kevin Gregg. We have not seen him since opening day. Cardinals have 8, 9, and 1 in their batting order. Told you Marquis has thrown 104 pitches in this game. Lackey has thrown 61.
Well, the only way you get by being that efficient is if you have a team anxious to swing the bat early in the count. The Reds have had a lot of 1-pitch outs. Now, doesn't mean to say that you should start being not aggressive at the plate. Sit back and wait till you get in the hole 2 strikes. But they've been swinging the bat.
And really, they're not knocking the ball off the cover here against Lackey by any means. All of the damage has been done on a pair of 2-run home runs by Votto. The Reds only have 2 other hits. One by the pitcher Marquis on a broken bat, and the other is single by Jay Bruce to lead off the 4th inning. One and 2 to Devin Mesoraco.
Send Frazier here to stay out of a possible double play.
He was not running on the pitch. Fly ball into center field. And that's out number 2. Frazier remains at first. Well, for Red, it's a home run off a Toyota sign out there in right center by the Tolostacks. Melinda Gentry would win that new Tundra. She's from Union, Kentucky. Why not register for your chance to win? Just stop by your Cincinnati and or Northern Kentucky Toyota dealer. There's one guy in the Reds lineup that could reach a power stacks. He's digging in right now. Cardinals have 4 left-handed batters in their lineup tonight. 3 of the first 4 in their batting order. Bruce a drive into deep left center field. Grichuk at the wall and will make the play to end the inning. It's a big-time play by Grichuk.
He went a long way to get to that. He started in right center field.
Jason Marquis shaky to begin the night. 3 runs, 3 hits, a couple of walks, but my oh my did he settle in after that. Retired 12 in a row and worked the final 4 innings of 2-hit shutout baseball. He has a 1-run lead thanks to a pair of home runs by Joey Votto. A 2-run blast in the first, a 2-run blast in the third, and you're up to speed on our Honda game summary. Been a busy Reds bullpen here the first 3 games of the year. Kevin Gregg made his Reds debut on opening day, and it was not a good debut. 2/3 of an inning, allowed 2 hits, 2 runs, including a home run to Andrew McCutchen. He has not pitched since. He's in there now.
I don't think they're going to just give up on Kevin Gregg because he had one bad outing. Got a long time in the major leagues, 37 years old, 177 career saves. Reds are looking for 9 outs now in another tight ball game.
The Reds have won each of their first 3 games in their final at bat. 8th inning in the opener. Chapman nailed it down. Walk-off wins each of the last 2 games. Grichuk, a 2-run home run in the 2nd inning, struck out in the 4th. Hard hit ball. Cozart down on both knees. 1 away.
Well, that guy hits the ball hard. Grichuk does.
Cardinals going to go to their bench, and their regular center fielder will come on to bat for Lackey. That's John Jay. This guy has been an underrated player and a good solid player for a long time.
Last left-hander they have available. Left-handed bat, that is.
Lackey 4 hits, 4 runs in 6 innings. Walked 2, struck out only 1.
You know, the opposing teams rarely save their left-handed batters for late in the ball game. If they're down by a run or 2, chances are you're going to see a Aroldis Chapman. So you might as well use them early.
Tell you the other reliever we have not seen come out of the Reds bullpen since the season opener is Manny Parra. He has faced 1 batter.
1 pitch.
Two and 1 to John Jay. 3 balls and a strike. Back to the top of the order next. Well, speaking of Parra, you know left-handed batters will follow this left-handed hitter. A rocket into right field off the bat of Jay. Holy Moses. Grichuk hit a ball so hard it almost knocked Cozart over. And now Jay, a pinch hit single into right. Well, even with Parra ready to go, it appears as though Brian Price will stay with his right-hander Kevin Gregg. Well, if you're wondering in Carpenter's career and how he might fare against right-handed pitchers as opposed to the lefties, here's a 1-1. And that's just a little bit low. 2 balls and a strike on Carpenter. He has been the best leadoff hitter in the National League the last 2 seasons.
I'll tell you one thing about Carpenter, though, that strikes you right away, Tom, is that he just never appears like he is in a hurry to put the ball in play.
A 300 batter against right-handers, 271 against lefties. Not bad. 271. You know, you talk about Carpenter. He only swung at 33% of the pitches that came his way last year. That was the lowest swing rate of any batter in Major League Baseball.
So he's the guy who is responsible for the slow games.
It's all on Matt Carpenter.
Well, I'm not afraid to pin it on a Cardinal.
Two and two. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Jason Hayward next. Carpenter tonight is 0 for 2. He walked to lead off the game, scored on the double by Peralta. Has since grounded to second and struck out. Kevin Gregg needs an out. Jay running. Off the glove of Votto, and everybody's safe. You know, as many games as Votto and Phillips have played together, and you got to figure in instinct to go get the ball. But Brandon Phillips is standing right behind Votto. And this is their 842nd game started together. That is the most on the right side of the infield for any tandem in Reds history. It is scored a base hit. Gregg will leave. Parra is our Skyline Chili call to the bullpen. The Reds lead by a run. Cardinals with 2 on and 1 out here in the 7th. Will wrap up the year against the Islanders, a final regular season game at Nassau Coliseum. Blue Jackets Live begins at 6:30. The puck drops at 7 right here on Fox Sports Ohio. All right, trouble to brewing.
Now this play again with Joey Votto going down on his right side to try to make the play. Brandon Phillips looks like at the very end of this, and he may have tweaked the leg muscle. A long walk right after that, walked all the way out into right center field. Let's hope not.
Manny Parra threw 1 pitch, allowed a base hit on opening day. We have not seen him since, and now he walks into the game to face Jason Hayward. With 2 on and 1 out, the Reds leading by a run here in the 7th. Reds have J.J. Hoover, a right-hander, cranking it up in a hurry. Right-handed batting Matt Holliday is next. Cingrani did not pitch yesterday after working an inning plus in Game 2 on Wednesday night. 0-1 to Hayward, who is 0 for 3 in a game. Base hit into center. Throw goes into third, and the runner is out at third base, but this game is tied at 4. Manny Parra has thrown 2 pitches this season and given up 2 hits.
Well, he gives up the hit right there on a base hit that goes right through the middle. That's the tying run that's coming around. Billy Hamilton right on the money with his throw.
Well, I would imagine they're going to walk. Yep, they are. They're going to intentionally walk Holliday and let Parra just stay in the game rather than burning a third pitcher in the inning to face this right-handed batter. Adams, a lefty, waits on deck. Charge a run to Kevin Gregg. He allowed the back-to-back hits. Bad luck hit on the ball off the bat of Carpenter, but a hit nonetheless. And certainly a curious decision made by Brian Price. We brought it up at the time. He had the right-hander Gregg facing the right-handed batting Grichuk to begin the inning. John Jay was announced as a pinch hitter. He stayed with the right-hander Gregg. Base hit into right. Left-handed batting Matt Carpenter stayed with Gregg. Infield hit before making the call to Parra to face Hayward.
And it won't be Matt Adams, or it won't be Matt Adams after all, it doesn't look like. Cardinals are going to go to their bench and bring back a player that we've seen many, many times before. Arizona Diamondback, third baseman. You saw him for quite a few years, Tom. We saw him the last couple of years up there in Milwaukee as a part-time player. And a very dangerous hitter if he gets his pitch.
Well, he's not going to face Manny Parra. J.J. Hoover will be brought on from the bullpen. Parra faces two batters, allows an RBI single and an intentional walk. Four game. We're in the seventh. 2 on, 2 out. Back in a moment.
Of the Cincinnati Reds. It may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Cincinnati Reds.
Following each and every Reds game right here on Fox Sports Ohio. Stick around for Reds Live, brought to you by Performance Kings Honda. We'll break it all down right after the game. Well, the Reds bullpen has surrendered a run here in the seventh inning, and the Cardinals are still batting in a 4-4 game. Mark Reynolds off the bench. Tremendous power. Facing right-hander J.J. Hoover.
And that's what he does. I mean, he sees it and he lets it rip. And he's got a good chance of striking out. But if he gets a pitch in his zone, he can hit it as far as anybody.
Good pitch here by J.J., who threw the ball so well here on opening night. You may remember it was opening night a year ago. He got his only one of the year, then he lost 10 in a row. Well, he got the opening night game victory here on Wednesday.
No reason to throw a strike here.
Reynolds 20 or more home runs in each of the last 7 years. Originally drafted out of the University of Virginia by the Diamondbacks.
That's an odd line right there. Yep. 196, 22 home runs, and 45 driven in.
Well, this will be the action pitch for Hoover. We talk about it all the time. You get late into ball games and you get 3 balls in a count on a batter. More times than not, very bad things happen. 2-2 pitch. Foul away. Hoover trying to strand a pair of Cardinals and send it to the bottom of the 7th in a tie game, and he will. J.J. Hoover strikes out the pinch hitter Mark Reynolds to end the inning.
A couple of runners on base. He holds the lead at 4-4, and that fastball that he throws right by Reynolds in the top part of the strike zone is our flamethrower, brought to you by Cholula Hot Sauce.
It's a nice start for J.J.
It is, and it's a guy that in his career has given J.J. somewhat of a hard time. 2 for 4 with a home run, Reynolds has been. And he'll go over and take over at first base.
Seth Maness, a ground ball machine out of the Cardinal bullpen since coming up to the major leagues 2 years ago. Marlon Byrd to be followed by Brandon Phillips and then Zach Kozak. Cardinals jumped out in front 1-0. Reds took a 2-1 lead. Votto hit a 2-run home run after the 2-run homer, and this ball in the air to right field. Hayward with room. And Manus a big, deep sigh of relief. Brandon is lined to center and grounded out to short. Reds have not had a hit since Bruce led off the 4th inning with a single. Bird bounced into a double play. Their only base runner since a single by Bruce, a 1-out walk to Frazier 1 inning ago. That one ran in on Phillips' hands, and he pops it up to Reynolds. 2 up and 2 down. Cozart 0 for 2, a couple of loud outs. Both line drives to the center fielder Grichuk. Brennan Bosch stands in the on-deck circle. Hoover's spot due up next. You have right-handed batters in Peralta, Molina, left-handed hitter in Wong coming up. And when Brian Price made the 3rd change of the inning on the mound to bring in the right-hander Hoover, he did not double switch. And there's strike 3 called. Doesn't matter. Hoover will come back out there, one would assume, for the 8th. We're tied at 4. Reds main man Johnny Cueto will go up against really the number 2 man, maybe 1A in that Cardinal rotation. Michael Wacha had the injury last year after the dazzling rookie season. Johnny spectacular on opening day. Bullpen couldn't hold a 2-0 lead. 7 shutout innings with 10 strikeouts. Can't wait for that tomorrow. 4-4 game. Hoover to face Peralta, Molina, and Wong. Reds Live, the pregame begins at 12:30 tomorrow. It's brought to you by Ray St. Clair Roofing. Four runs, 8 hits for St. Louis. 4 runs, only 4 hits for the Reds. Joey Votto, a pair of 2-run home runs in the game, accounting for all the Reds runs. Ooh, how about that bending?
The knee locker.
Peralta, an RBI double down the left field line in the opening inning. Has since fly to left and singled again into center field. Struck him out. Good breaking ball down and away from the right-handed batting Peralta.
Interesting there, because when he needed a strikeout against Mark Reynolds, he went with the high fastball. And I'm wondering if Peralta was looking for the same pitch. That kind of a swing right there on a pitch clearly out of the zone.
One away for Molina, 0 for 3. A pair of ground balls to Frazier at third, and then with a runner at third and one out in the sixth, Molina struck out against Jason Marquis. Molina 0 for 4 tonight. Hoover blows him away with a high fastball.
That's 3 strikeouts in a row for JJ.
First pitch breaking ball and a dandy to the left-handed batting second baseman Colton Wong.
J.J. Hoover was describing to me in spring training really the mechanical problem that he had last year all year long. And it's the most common of all pitching maladies. He was just simply flying open with his right side. He worked over the winter on it. He worked in the spring on just keeping that front side closed, and boy, it's made a difference.
What a piece of hitting there by Wong. Just shot it down the left field line on an 0-2 pitch. And he's in with a stand-up double. His second hit in 4 at-bats tonight.
He's very quick. You know, sometimes almost too quick defensively, if you know what I mean, and not necessarily a smooth-handed. But that is some kind of hitting. You're right about that. Right down the line, nearly hits the third base bag. And he's standing on second base, lickety splits.
And I wonder if Brian Price is asking whether that's fair or foul.
It's where the ball crosses the bag or a piece of the bag, not where it bounces after it goes over the bag. That was clearly a fair ball, at least from our camera angle, which is pretty much right down the line.
All right, now Grichuk 1 for 3 in the game, had the home run in the second inning. Just off the outside corner, ball 1. Reds had a 4-3 lead until the 7th. Cardinals tied it up against a duo of Greg and Parra. Hoover able to get the final out. Strikes out the first 2 here in the 8th inning before the double by Wong. A ball and a strike on Grichuk. Peter Borges stands in the on-deck circle. That is a pitcher spot due up next. Ground ball. Kozar cuts it loose, inning over. Well done by J.J. Hoover. Well, the Reds have won their first 3 games in their final at-bat. One time that final at-bat was in the 8th inning. Could they do it again tonight? They cheer on the Reds. They take on these Cards. Arrive early. If you're one of the first 20,000 fans, you get a magnetic schedule and car magnet, featuring Reds first baseman Joey Votto, presented by PNC Bank. Come on down to the ballpark on Sunday. Walk away with some goodies. 4-4 game. Reds come to bat here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Hayward came over in Atlanta in the Shelby Miller deal. So too did hard-throwing Jordan Walden.
Yeah, hard-throwing and a strikeout artist, but he has a tendency to get wild from time to time. One of the more unusual pitch release points you'll ever see, when he is actually in the air when that ball leaves his hand. Kind of a jump step when he pushes off the rubber. Doesn't just push towards the plate, he pushes himself into the air.
Walden had very good success with the Angels on some good teams.
That's what we're talking about right here. Look at the daylight. Maybe not quite as dramatic from that angle, but from the side you watch him and you can see daylight under both feet as that ball's coming out of his hand. I've never seen it like that before.
No.
Now, he was tremendous with the strikeouts last year. 50 innings, 62 strikeouts, but he also had 27 walks, which leads you to think if you can be a little bit patient, you can work your way on base.
Brennan Bosch off the Reds bench had an unbelievable spring out in Arizona. Pretty good rip right there. Walden traded to Atlanta prior to the 2013 season despite some excellent years for the Angels. But the Angels needed starting pitching, so they acquired Tommy Hanson in the trade. Gone swinging Bosch to begin the 8th.
There's another freeze frame of Walden when he's actually in the air. That toe might be touching a hair. No, it's not. I see some daylight under there. I'm not really sure how you teach that. I've taught a lot of pitching over the years. I wouldn't know where to begin. Interestingly enough, though, he went to Grayson County College, community college. That's the same community college that tonight's starter for the Cardinals, John Lackey, went.
Small world.
It's a big state.
Billy trying to make it happen here in the 8th inning. 2-0 the count on Hamilton. 3-0. Now let's not forget on opening day, it was the 8th inning with 1 out and nobody on when Hamilton reached with a base hit. Votto singled and then Frazier homered. And Hamilton has reached base with 1 out here in the 8th inning, and he's getting ready to turn on that engine. Joey in the 1st inning with Hamilton aboard, skips off the top of the fence. Goodbye. In the 3rd with Marquis aboard. Left center field again, same result. Votto has 35 plate appearances going back to last year with Billy Hamilton on in front of him. He has 11 hits, .355 average, and 3 home runs. 5 for 8 this year with Hamilton on base, 2 home runs. Ball 1.
Well, you got to figure that Jordan Walden is thinking about 2 different things and probably not what he should be. One is Billy Hamilton at first base. The other is don't make a mistake to Joey Votto. And when you think like that, sometimes you take away your aggressiveness of really going after the hitter.
Hamilton running. And he is in there safely. His 7th stolen base in 7 attempts. And he is still perfect against Yadier Molina. 7 of 7 against him.
Right now, Mike Matheny is on the top step of the dugout. He's about to try maybe signal to the umpire for a review. I think they take a look at this, and you're going to see his hand is in there. Yep. Boy, what a great shot.
Well, now they're going to intentionally walk Votto.
Why not?
They've seen enough from him tonight. They're going to make somebody else beat him.
Hope Billy didn't hurt his hand on that slide.
You may remember he did that the first weekend of the season last year. Remember that rainy night in New York when he jammed his thumb and his wrist?
You know, I don't know why, if he's done it before, why he doesn't wear one of those protectors. He goes so hard into that bag, we'll take a good look. It's definitely his left hand that he's been rubbing out there standing at second base. Looks like he gets his index finger and his middle finger on top of the bag, but his ring finger and pinky finger underneath.
It was the finger he injured last year, that first weekend of the season, trying to steal in New York. And you got to hope he's all right. All right, money time. Frazier broke a 2-2 tie on opening day with a 3-run home run. Breaking ball away, and Hamilton will advance on to third. Molina could not find the baseball. So now Frazier trying to find a way anyway to get Hamilton down the line from third. 4-4 game or in the 8th. Another pitch in the dirt. Votto will not advance. Reds and Cardinals tied at 4. We're in the bottom of the 8th inning. Votto's running. And how about that? A sneak attack. Well, Votto's doing it all. He already has 2 stolen bases this year. Now the Cardinals will bring their infield in. That stolen base by Votto, of course, takes away the ground ball double play. 1-2 to Frazier. High fly ball. Hayward, a good arm and blazing speed at third. Here comes Billy. Here comes a throw. Reds lead. Billy Hamilton sprinting up and down that dugout after easily beating the throw from Hayward. And the Reds lead 5-4.
Boy, I don't think there's another player in baseball you'd rather have at third base, 1 out, and you stand up at the batter's box. That ball was a very shallow fly ball to right field. Hayward did everything he could with a good, strong throw, and it wasn't even close.
Well, remember, we saw Hamilton score against these Cardinals on a pop-up to the infield.
That's right.
Caught by an infielder. And look at that. This is no contest. Ball's not even arrived before Hamilton has his left hand on the plate. 0-2 to Mesoraco. Now it's 0-2, I beg your pardon. 2 outs. Well, Billy not seeing a trainer. They're worried about his finger or hand or wrist. Chapman is ready in the Reds bullpen. Mesoraco really feeling for it right now. Seems to be lunging at almost every pitch, indecisive. Hitters will go through that. 1-2 to Devin. Protective mode there on a 2-strike count. Able to foul it away. That's it. It's a mighty big tack-on run leading out there at second base. Two and 2 on Mesoraco, who is 0 for 3 tonight. 2 ground outs to the left side of the Cardinal infield and a fly ball to center in the 6th. The Reds get a run without a single hit in this 8th inning. Third baseman comes down the line, and that'll do it. Hamilton with the 1-out walk. Stole second, went to third on a wild pitch. Chapman will come in to try and nail it down. On the fly ball to short right, Hamilton going all the way. Reds lead by a run. Reds come up with a run in the bottom of the 8th inning. They have won each of their first 3 games this season in their final at bat. 8th inning on opening day, 9th inning each of the last 2 days. And now bottom of the 8th inning, and it's up to Chapman to record the final 3 outs to nail down this 5-4 lead. He has been lights out already this year, a win and a save. And has pitched in each of the first 4 games of this season. They did have the off day following opening day on Monday. Peter Borges will bat for Walden. Boy, and if you're Mike Matheny, Walden doesn't allow a hit, but perhaps what might become the ultimate sin for any pitcher in baseball, walking Billy Hamilton.
I guarantee you they went over that in the pregame meeting. Hey, how about John Lackey walking Billy Hamilton to start the bottom of the 1st inning, come around to score the 1st run. One out.
If there is one guy that has brought his A game against the Cardinals, and you can't say that about the Reds overall as a team, but for Aroldis Chapman, oh my, the numbers are sick against St. Louis. 18 scoreless appearances spanning better than 18 innings. And a base hit by Carpenter into right field on the first pitch of his at bat.
I think that's the first time in a year I've seen Matt Carpenter swing at the first pitch. One thing for certain, you don't want to get down 2 strikes to Aroldis Chapman.
So dangerous Cardinal lineup. Lefties, righties. And we know the Cardinals will compete. There is very little debate about that. Strike one to Hayward. Hayward was having a dreadful night. His first 3 times up, he struck out, a bounce out to Phillips. But with his team down a run against Manny Parra in the 7th inning, he drilled a single into center field, tying the game at 4. High bouncer, Phillips, and they get the out at second on an amazing play by Cozart. Phillips leaps in the air, feeds it to Cozart, who snags it with his bare right hand. The best defensive team in baseball a year ago, and they're at it already again.
These two guys are like a couple of magicians. Phillips had no choice but to get rid of it as quickly as he could. And somehow Cozart has the wherewithal to watch the ball, get his foot on the bag, and get that important out. No wonder this crowd is on its feet.
What an incredible play, and the Reds have already made better than a half dozen of those through the first 4 games. One more out to go. Matt Holliday has walked, grounded to third, had the infield hit in the 6th inning, threw an intentional walk in the 7th. One ball and 1 strike on Holliday. Fouled out of play. The Reds lost 38 one-run decisions a year ago. The most in all of Major League Baseball, 38 of them. They're trying to win their 3rd straight one-run decision here in 2015.
Aroldis reached back for a little extra that time. 1-0-2.
Two and 2 to Holliday. Good night. Good night. Good night at 101. The Reds become the first Major League team since 1912 to win their first 4 games of a season in their final at-bat. Chapman, oh my. And Billy Hamilton in the bottom of the 8th inning won this game with his greatest asset, his speed. A walk, a stolen base. Most runners don't advance to third on that pitch in the dirt. Very few, if any, others score on that short fly ball to right. Did we mention the Reds are 4-0?
That's the good part.
Back in a moment.